Hey, I don't worry about Hope. She's a team player.
I know she is. I just wish I could say the same about Katie. We're at odds like never before. I just don't want there to be anything else that can pull us even further apart.
Yes.
Welcome my dear listeners, stay with me to get the spoilers first and subscribe to the channel. Let's find out what's going to happen on The Bold and the Beautiful. Rich slaps Steffy for firing Hope. In the current Bold and the Beautiful setup, the whole Forrester Logan world is buzzing with tension. Steffy has benched Hope for the future again. Liam has pitched the idea of moving Hope to Logan. Katie is eager to keep her new fashion momentum going, and Rich is already circling the family war with Brooke as the fallout builds. The slap hasn't even been confirmed to have happened on the show yet, but this is the kind of soap pressure cooker that could blow into a Rich finally loses it moment. This version of the story has a spoiler. Steffy thinks she is just doing business when she shaves Hope's queue and tells everyone that couture has to come first. She says it's not personal, but Hope clearly doesn't buy that for a second, and Liam has already been saying out loud that Steffy and Rich are running Forrester like a tyranny. That is the fire. Hope is wounded. Liam is livid. Katie is ready to give Hope an out, and Rich is about to find out that Steffy's business decision has come like an act of war. The real issue for Steffy is that she has been too blunt for too long. She continues to treat Hope like she should just take the insult and move on, but the spoilers now have Hope growing increasingly sympathetic to Katie and contemplating a way out of Forrester altogether. Liam's pitch for Logan as Hope's next fashion home is more than romantic support. It's a lifeline. Katie is on the same page. Bill is in because it might be lucrative, and the potential involvement of Dickie Sharp makes the whole proposition feel like a genuine creative reboot instead of a family rebellion. And that's exactly what Rich says when he hears the fallout from all directions. Brooke is furious with Katie. Donna is caught in the middle, and the Logans are all buzzing with the same question. Why does Hope keep getting pushed to the side? Rich may still think he is above the fray, but he is not. The current recap coverage says Rich and Brooke are already back at the Logan lair talking about the fashion war, and Brooke is mad enough to say she can barely recognize his sister anymore. In other words, Rich is entering a family crisis that is already personal before he says a word. So, in this version of the story, Rich goes to Steffy to have a private chat and gets a confession in business speak instead. Steffy digs in her heels about putting Hope for the future on the back burner and makes it sound perfectly sensible. Couture is the priority, not Hope's feelings. But Rich hears something more. He hears a daughter so assured in her own authority that she has stopped noticing how much damage she is inflicting on everyone around her. So here's a CEO who has become so accustomed to obedience that she can no longer tell the difference between leadership and cruelty. The slap comes when Rich finally fights back and Steffy won't back down. In this version, he tells her that firing Hope's future is not strength. It's pettiness masquerading as a strategy. Steffy fires back that Hope has been disloyal, that Katie is poaching Forrester talent, and that Rich should be backing his daughter instead of lecturing her. Then the room cracks open. Rich says Steffy is not just protecting business priorities, she is punishing Hope, and she is doing it hard enough to risk turning every personal slight into a permanent family owned. Then he cracks and slaps her, not because he hates her, but because he is horrified at the lengths she has gone to. The effects are instant and ugly. Steffy is shocked because he did not expect Rich to go there, even verbally, let alone physically in the soap opera sense of a sudden shocking parental reaction. Ridge knows instantly that he has crossed the line, but the punch has landed at the story's emotional center. He has finally, in the most dramatic way possible, admitted that Steffy's treatment for Hope has become indefensible. The slap is not only anger, it's the breaking point after weeks of seeing Hope treated like a peach holder while the couture gets all the attention. Meanwhile, Hope is already suffering the effects of Liam's wild peach. On the April 29 episode, he told her she should run away from the tyranny at Forrester and join Logan with her own line, even suggesting that the new line could simply be called Hope. That idea floors her because it is the first time in a while someone has not just sympathized with her but offered her a real exit. Now she has to decide whether the offer is a rescue or a temptation or the start of a whole new identity. Steffy firing Hope for the future may have been an attempt to silence the Q, but it has only made Hope's exit seem more likely. It is Katie who makes that possibility feel real. The spoilers and recaps have her celebrating her own fashion success but also pushing her to keep the momentum going to Logan. She knows one collection isn't enough and sees Hope as the recognizable name that might keep the press talking. Katie is thrilled for Hope, but she is also pragmatic. But if Hope wants a clean break from Forrester, Katie is ready to give her one. And if the package includes Dicky Sharp, then Hope isn't just leaving Steffy behind. Now she's stepping into a new creative future with her own people behind her. That possibility is what turns Ridge's slap into more than a family outburst. It's the moment he realizes Steffy may have pushed Hope right into Logan's arm. If Hope takes the job, Forrester loses more than a Q. It loses the plot. The Logans get to say they saved Hope from being sidelined. Bill can say he helped forge a lucrative alliance. Katie gets to say she saw the future before Ridge did, and Ridge is left looking at the wreckage of a decision he thought was just a temporary business adjustment. The slap also changes the Steffy and Ridge dynamic in a way that the current spoiler are already hinting at. Ridge isn't blind to Steffy's action, but he's been trying to keep the peace. Here that peace is broken. In the soap version of the scene, he is the father who can no longer pretend his daughter's strength is harmless when it is being used to humiliate someone else. Steffy may still think Hope had to get over it, but Ridge is the one who finally realizes this is no longer about Hope's sensitivity. It's Steffy's reveling in the power of making someone feel small. Brooke is the other one who's going to feel the shock right away. The recap and current coverage show that she's already paved with Katie's choices and the fashion house drama, and she's battling the feeling that her family is falling apart around her. If she learns about Ridge slapping Steffy, the whole Logan Forrester feud gets even harder to control. Brooke may not be thrilled that Hope would run to Logan, but she also knows the cost of this family feud. So Ridge's shocking act of discipline accomplishes nothing. All it does is prove that the next stage of the feud is going to be uglier than the last. And that's what the soap payoff really is. Steffy firing Hope in the match. Liam's speech is the petrol. Katie's offer is the alternate road, and Ridge's slap is the explosion. When it happens, you cannot put it back the way it was. Hope could still go for Logan. Billy may still like the new line. Bill may still be seeing dollar signs. Dickie might still be in the game. But Steffy isn't just the omen who knocked Hope's Q off the board anymore. Now she is the woman who pushed her father too far and may have caused a full-blown family rupture in the process. So it's not just Ridge slaps Steffy that's the spoiler story here. It is the tale of a family finally hitting the wall after weeks of escalating disrespect, politics, and emotional overreach. Steffy's firing Hope for the future might have looked like a clean corporate move, but to everyone around her, it's a personal attack. The proof is Ridge's shocking answer. He's had enough, and whether that slap is read as outrage, regret, or a desperate attempt to stop Steffy before she wreaks even more relationships. One thing is clear. The Forrester-Logan war has crossed another line and nobody in that room is walking away unscathed. And honestly, this is where it stops being about business and starts becoming something much harder to fix. Because when Reese Forrester reaches that breaking point, it tells you the damage has already gone too far and maybe too deep. I'll say this plainly. A parent losing control like that doesn't just hurt in the moment, it leaves a scar that doesn't fade out easily. And that's what makes this feel so dangerous. Because now the question isn't who's right, it's what's been broken and whether it can even be put back together. And here's what really stands out to me. Steffy Forrester may think he is winning control, but she might actually be losing everything that made that control matter. And Hope Logan, she is no longer just hurt, she is being pushed into a new identity, and that kind of shift rarely goes backward. So let me ask you this. Do you think Reese crossed a line that should never be crossed? Or was this the only way to finally stop Steffy? And more importantly, if Hope really walks away now, do you see her ever coming back? Or is this the moment she chooses herself for good? Because here's my prediction, and it might not be a popular one. This isn't the end of the fallout, this is just the beginning. I think we are heading toward a full power shift, where alliances flip, loyalties crack, and someone we least expect ends up taking control of the narrative. And if that happens, the real shock won't be the slap. It will be who rises after it. So keep your eyes on the next move, because in stories like this, the quiet reaction after the explosion is where the real twist begins. And if you are watching closely, you might catch it before anyone else does.